Good morning. We partied a little hard last night. I didn't film much of that, but we bounced around to some places, had a number of beers, and had a good time. But this morning, I think Dr. Thunder and Snow Turtle are looking at hitting the trail sooner rather than later, trying to make 3 days to Butte. And I'm not in too much of a rush, plus I still have to do the resupply run. There's a Safeway like half a mile up the road. But there's a Perkins restaurant here across the street from the hotel, so we're going to hit that up first and then do the resupply run after. Always good for a breakfast. Safeway next for resupply. Okay, back in the room. I think I'm all done packed up. Dr. Thunder and Snow Turtle are just over at the McDonald's getting their breakfast. And I think we're going to try to all get an Uber ride back to trail, so we should be up there shortly. Let's go catch up with the other guys. Well, we just got dropped off by an Uber driver. That's the easiest way to get in and out of town, it seems like. And back on trail. I don't know how much road walking there is until we're back into some woods, but we're starting out with a little bit of road walk here. There's definitely some pretty ranch land up here. There's deer out in the field. Well, we're leaving one dirt road and getting up to another one. Looks like this parking trailhead area is called Anaconda trailhead. And disappearing up in the woods this way. Here's Lowland Creek. We got a top up here. A little bit of a water carry, maybe 10 to 12 miles at the most. We're done with our water break, getting back on the dirt road walk. Everybody's going for little chips on the go.
These are literally the best chips I've had in my entire life, and I need every one of Goob's viewers to go buy them.
Yeah, and I've tried them, and they're pretty good.
They're really good.
Definitely. This is a cool area. I'm loving the vibe of this forest. I kind of like these wood CDT placards I've been noticing the last, I don't know, 50 to 100 miles or so. We're stopping for a lunch break, and we're just doing a continuation of Snow Turtle's birthday party celebrations. Her birthday's actually like in 2 days from now or so.
Yeah, it's on Saturday.
And we've been celebrating for like the last week. And she's got a cheesecake there.
Yeah.
Done with our lunch break, back on trail. So far, the trail's been pretty mild. Nice gentle uphills and kind of rolling and flat. Just a little bit rocky, but I hope the ease of the day continues. We can just cruise out some decent miles here. This area is just kind of a mess of fallen trees all leaning up against each other. Been doing a good uphill climb for a little bit. It's gradual enough, but it's an uphill grind. We're getting some nice overlooks every once in a while. And there's definitely some tall peaks out in the background there. Well, I think we're done with some uphill for a little bit. Get some cruisy downhill section here. And looks like we got another long kind of uphill grind coming up after this in a few miles.
I guess we should stop talking about cocaine.
Oh, we're into the next big uphill. A steady, gradual-ish uphill climb. I think we've passed the top of this hill climb. Back to some nice, easy downhill for a bit. I think we're about 3 miles to our water source. And we'll take a good snack break there. Well, we made it down to the next water source. There's just a little tiny trickle of a stream just down there. So we're filling back up on water, and I think we're even going to cook up some dinner here in a little bit. And then I don't think I'm going to end up too much further for camp. I got to figure out where I'm going to end up at. But I think the other guys are going to keep on pushing, aiming to get into town the day before where I'm kind of planning to. Well, we're done with having a dinner. All topped up on water, 10 miles to the next water source. Everybody's going to be dry camping for tonight. Comments and far out suggest there's some decent sites in about a mile. So if that looks good, I'm probably just going to camp there. And the other guys are going to push a little bit further and trying to get to town 2 days from now, I think it would be. And then I'll probably roll in that next morning. That's the current plan. I'll see you guys when we find camp. Well, I think this is where we say goodbye. This road crossing should have some campsites I'm going to find and stay here. And these guys are going to move on for a little bit further. So if I don't see you, I'll see you guys in town in a few days.
Bye.
Laters. So based on some comments, I think a site was somewhere around here. I'll poke around, and the area looks flat enough. I just got to find something where it isn't overgrown with vegetation. Well, I didn't like that area as far as tenting options, so I'm gonna go just another half a mile further up. There was comments about a good site, so hopefully I can take people's word for it. There better be something here shortly. And there's camp. This site is much better. I'm glad I pushed on top of a little ridge line with an awesome little view. And that's going to do it for today. Did some good miles for coming out of town, and we're on track for getting to town a few days from now, popping in the morning. And I think I'm just going to bounce in and out of there, just get some resupply done, and then move on to the next one. So that's it for here. Definitely going to get busy with some video editing. I didn't get anything done yesterday because of the late night partying, and it's already like 7 o'clock, so it's going to be a busy evening. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you all in the morning. Good morning. I was hoping to catch up on some sleep last night, but it was a little breezy up in the trees. It was fine where I was at, but all the trees were creaking, so that was making noise. And then animals were moving around my tent all night. Deer most likely is what I would guess. But it was just off and on. I couldn't get much sleep. But today I'm up nice and early, looking to do around 25 miles or so is the goal, and we'll just keep pressing on down trail. Coming out to a little dirt road junction. I think we're just continuing kind of straight across here somewhere. Yep. Top of that mountain over there is where I stayed the night last night. We had a nice long steady uphill. First big hill climb of the day. Done with that first uphill. Got some nice descent for a bit. And I saw Dr. Thunder's tent a little ways back. Sounded like he was still sleeping in. Those guys are looking to do 30 miles today, but he can be quick when he needs to. I think Snow Turtle is up and out ahead of me, probably at least an hour. Don't know if I'll see her today. Made it to Champion Pass. There's the first water source for the day. I think water should be a little more plentiful. Every 2 to 4 miles now instead of every 10 to 12. Done with that quick water break. It's cold out here when you're just sitting around and not moving. It's like 40 degrees, a cold wind chill, my hands are numb, I gotta get warmed back up. I don't think it's gonna get very warm today. It's like 9:30. Getting some awesome views out to the west. Lots of haze from the forest fires. There's a little township down there in the valley. I think that must be Deer Lodge. And with the wind blowing, the temperature keeps dropping. Feels like it's into the 30s now. It's real cold. Oh, I'm disturbing all the cows and they're napping. Everybody's got to get up and move on now that I'm hiking through. That overcast cloud layer is finally moving on. Should be clear for the rest of the day then maybe. Maybe it'll start warming up. I was just looking at the elevation profile. Ups and downs for the rest of the day. Like 2 to 3 miles of uphill grinding and then down. And then another 2 to 3 miles of uphill grinding. There's been a lot of forest scenery changes. I think this is my favorite, where it's like a nice dark pine forest. But we've been hiking through like grassy cow meadows and desert shrubs and stuff, and forests. I think we're at the top of this hill climb, getting back into some downhill. Starting into the next big hill climb. It's a little past noon now, I think. Probably be stopping for a lunch break soon. I'm stopped for lunch, drying out the tent a little bit. And catching up on rendering some videos. Done with lunch, back on trail. From here I got 9.5 miles to the campsite I'm aiming for. Currently 1 o'clock, so I should get there in some good time. Catch back up on some videos and stuff. Go to bed early, try to catch up on some sleep too. That's the game plan. I love these kind of feelings where the further north we're getting, the more and more wilderness. It's just middle of nowhere. No more towns. No airplanes. Just middle of nowhere. Made it to the top of the next hill climb. They're not too bad today, the ups and downs. All in all, it is relatively gradual. But we got a downhill for a few miles, and then back uphill for a few miles, and then downhill for a few miles, and then we're at camp, about 8 miles from here. I feel like the water sources today have been the cattle troughs and then small trickle streams like this one. But there's enough water out here. They're not too far apart. Another good collection of animal bones.
Do you know a man named Container?
Oh, we're at Thunderbolt Creek. And I caught up with these guys. They're still trying to push a 30. So I've only got like 5 more miles to do. These guys have got like 13 miles to do.
Perfectly acceptable amount of miles to do.
And it's cool we get to see you one more time before town. Coming out to a big marshy area. Cottonwood Lake. I'm just thinking this is the good place where you might see a moose or a bear kind of wandering out, but looks like there's nothing. No animal activity here. But in a minute here we'll be starting the last climb of the day. 3 miles of uphill, then 2 miles of downhill, and then we'll be at camp. We made it to the top of this climb. The biggest climb of the day is always the one at the end of the day. But from here, it's all downhill. 2 more miles to camp. Well, we're scrambling our way out to a little scenic overlook. And it's definitely worth a little side excursion. And here we are. As soon as I hit the tent site, it started raining, so I just had to do a mad scramble to get everything up and running. And there's a little stream just nearby, so I got water collected. I think I'm good for the night. The other 2 guys are going to hike on a little bit more so they can try to get into town for tomorrow. The rain and thunderstorms is supposed to last a good couple of hours. We just can't go like more than a day without getting rained on for some reason. So I'm just going to be hiding in my tent for the rest of the night. Timing-wise, we did pretty good. We did like 26 miles by 5 o'clock. And I'm just going to be working on videos and catching up on some sleep and stuff if I can between the lightning strikes. So that's going to be it for here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all tomorrow.